Every parent who is here, no doubt, recognizes that your child or your children are special. You recognize how wonderful your children are. And I'm sure that many of you, if we were to give you the mic, particularly you who are parents for the first time, or who are parents of young children, I'm sure that most of you would testify that your children are the most brilliant, the most witty, the most enjoyable, delightful children in the world. And that's understandable. But it is only because you have not met my children. I've got some jewels. Each one of my children is a joy because of the differences in their age and the stage of life. I've got a 17-year-old, and I enjoy so much the growing camaraderie. My wife often says that we act more like brothers than father and son. We have a great time. Got a 12-year-old. He's at that age just between, childhood and adolescence, where he is taking on some of the attributes of the adolescent, the teenager, and yet still has so many of the childlike attributes of wanting that affection and to hug dad and so forth. I've got the jewel of the set, my princess, Miss Sharon, 8 years old. And she seems to think that she has dad wrapped around her finger. She thinks that. All of my children are unique, and it seems like the older they get, the more that they are raising dad. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but they go in my closet now and tell me what to wear and how to wear it. Tell me how to match my clothes. Tell me how to carry myself. Tell me how to be cool. How to be a big baller. Shot caller. Man, they need to see that shovel that the brother was talking about, because they will dig me in deep. But one of the children in the context of this message really stands out in my mind, and that is my middle son, George. George has been blessed with a unique personality that he seems to just take a liking to most everybody. I'll never forget the first day of kindergarten when we took George to school. My wife and I were there with all of the paraphernalia of parenting. We had the video camera. We had the regular camera. We had we might have had a tape recorder, notepads, anything that would embarrass an older child, we had it. We stayed there all through the session with him that day. They let us do that. And at the end of the session, as we were taking him home, we were asking him questions. First day of school. He didn't go to preschool, didn't go to daycare. And so we were saying to him in the car on the way home, I remember asking, George, what do you think of school? He thought for a moment with the wisdom that only a 5-year-old has. Thought and said, well, it's cool. I said, well, did you make any friends? And George thought for a minute and said, I met some of my friends today. Now, he had never met any of the children in the class. He said, I met some of my friends today, but not all of them. He said, I guess I'll meet the rest of them tomorrow. Now, what stood out to me was the fact that George fully expected every child in that class was his friend. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could go back to the innocence of childhood? Because so many of us meet people and we don't expect them to like us. And you know what? For some reason, they don't. We meet people and we just automatically say, oh, they're not going to like me. And of course, you know, the world has an old expression, smile and the world smiles with you. Then cry and you cry alone. How many know there's a lot of truth in that? It's a fact, brothers and sisters, and I'm almost finished. I'm not going to weary your patience, but it is a fact that all of us need friends. Touch somebody and say, you need a friend too.